Today, we're going to talk about something a little different. Talking 3D printing with the Bambu Lab P1S. I just got this in the mail and got it all set up, and I want to walk you through that whole process and give you a little bit of a review, just like I do with all the backpacks and other gear. This is going to be a little bit of a tough angle to capture, so I'm going to do my best to get it up on here as soon as possible, but we're going to start from down here. All right, real quick while we're looking here, this is how it comes in the box. It's got this really dense, like bubble cell wrap, and then every, at least of these big ones, I'm not overly familiar with some of their smaller ones, come with 2 rolls and then support, and then this is new. Oh, look it. So it has a little motor that you can attach to your benchy. We'll have to give that a shot. But they don't tell you what flavor or color you get. So this one looks like a fun green color. I'm colorblind, so if it's wrong. And then this looks like a fun little orange color. And then support is generally just like a white clear color. But, you know. Moving on. Give you the full frontal look. Right on top, we have the 3D printer quick start guide. Let's get this fully unboxed. Gonna look at this because it's been like 2.5, 3 years since I unboxed the first one. All right, first things first. I want you to take off the lid. Just gonna set this down for now. Time. Okay, so this is how tightly packaged it all is. And so this is an automatic material system. It allows you to print in multiple colors, and it also just keeps the things fed so that you don't have to worry about it. I'm sorry, I'm so distracted with all this. If I had to guess, I'll probably end up just doing a time lapse. All right, so it's kind of awkward because in the quick start manual, it just goes from that last step to download the app and start printing. So they've missed a couple steps. I don't know why there's this much extra filament tubing, but also inside the AMS, you open this up and there are these little packets in here under these things, and it's desiccant. So in case you don't know, plastic absorbs water, and the filament needs to be pretty dry to print properly. So this desiccant helps suck that moisture out of the air away from the plastic. So you want to make sure they're out of their little plastic bags before you start printing. And there's 2 of them. So I don't know why they just skip that step. And the second one done. And then, so I actually have a lot of benchies because, like I said, it's the first thing you print, and it tells you how well your printer is doing. So every time I move the printer or shake it around, I print a new one. So I have one in orange, blue, silver, black, you know, all that. But I don't have one in green. So I think we're going to use the green to do that first test print. Also, another fun feature about Bambu, RIP headphone users, Bambu Labs, is all of their rolls of filament that come from them have an RFID tag in them, so that when you place them in here, it'll spin around and the reader in there will tell it exactly what kind of material it is and what color, and then it'll sense how much weight is in there, so it'll tell you when you're out. You can set it up where if you're printing from, let's say, this roll, and then it runs out mid-print, you can flip over and use this one, and it just automatically keeps feeding it, and you never even notice. It just chugs along. Or if you have multiple colors in a print, it can swap between the 2 of them. And then additionally, like, you can print in PLA, which is pretty common. PETG is another common plastic. And then people do stuff with like carbon fiber embedded filaments. And they all require different temperatures when they're printing. And so that RFID tag also tells the printer, hey, when you're printing with this roll, make sure you're at this temperature, going this speed, all that good stuff. So it's actually really handy. I think there are a couple other brands that are starting to use that ecosystem so that they can work with Bambu Labs, but I know for the first year or so, people really hated that Bambu Labs gave that functionality only to themselves and they didn't let anybody else do it. All right, so this is its touch screen, or rather screen, and we're going to do our first print. So we'll go down to here, and looks like they have quite a few models, but I want the 3D Benchy. And print. So as you can see, it's got to heat up. This is the hot end, this is the bed, 100%, and it says it's going to take this one about 26 minutes to print. So we'll see, and it looks like it's going to do a time lapse for us, so if that's true, I will overlay that in there. All right, let's check out the first print. Oh, yes, that crushed it. All right, so as you can see, we got the benchy done. Everything's all set up and it's working properly. So I kind of want to do a wrap up like I do with the backpacks and everything else. So the first category I want to discuss is build quality. And I would say this is probably one of the higher build quality items that you can buy on the market at the moment. I just think that for what it is extremely high quality. It is well put together, it is streamlined, it is straightforward, it is intuitive, and it's kind of sleek looking. It's just kind of understated and awesome. Now, I will say that I'm kind of basing this off of looks, the build quality, purely because I haven't had this one all that long. I've had my other Bambu Lab printer for close on 3, 4, 5 years now. I don't know, whenever. But the only thing I've had to replace on it are some of the build plates because they're consumable items. And then I've had to lube up the screws to make sure that they're working in proper order. So, like, in my experience with the brand, top notch. And it's readily available online to go and get all the replacement parts you need. And the kit even ships with extra parts. So for build quality, I'm going to give it 4.5 out of 5. There are some things where it's just kind of cheap, but I mean, it's hard to argue with. It's just not a perfect 5. I'll give you that. The second category for technology items in general is going to be ease of use. I'm of the belief that in 2024 and beyond, a product should be extremely intuitive unless it is geared towards a market of makers, people that are specifically purchasing this product to tinker with it, to hack it, to dismantle, rebuild, to play with it. If you're buying a consumer grade item, it should work right out of the box with minimal training, and that's it. So as far as Bambu Lab printers go, they kind of reset the 3D printing market with their ease of use and all of the ecosystem that they develop. So I'm giving them a 5 out of 5. I know that's super controversial. People don't like aspects about Bambu Lab, how they went about things, how they have built off of the shoulders of others, etc. I get that. It's not what we're talking about. I'm just saying ease of use for this product, 5 out of 5. So the third category for technology is support, both through official and unofficial channels. There's the first party support where if you have a problem with the machine, you reach out to their customer service, you get feedback back, and they help you out. The unofficial is the group of users and community online that you can reach out to for support and help. And the only issue I've ever had with Bambu Lab where I had to reach out to them directly, they just sent out a part, no questions asked, gave it to me. This was many years ago, so policies may have changed. This was part of Kickstarter, so they might have been more on top of it than, say, they are now. So I'm not really sure what to do with that. But I do know that because these have become so popular, their online community is awesome and massive. And you don't even have to use just Bambu Lab help. You can use pretty much anybody with 3D printing knowledge. They'll be able to help you. So for support, I would say it's probably about a 4. Um, it's kind of hard to grade this one because it's such like a use case basis, but I can tell you that when I have needed support because I'm trying to figure out what an error message means, it's been super easy to figure out and move on with my day. So take that with a grain of salt because support's always tricky, but there are some products out there that have horrible support. Category number 4 for technology items that I like to grade them on is the flexibility of the use case. Technology is getting more and more expensive and everything is kind of becoming more and more niche, but it's like really helpful when a product is expandable and flexible and can be used to handle multiple different situations. So like for instance, cameras. We now have what used to be, looks like a handheld camera that is now shooting video. So that's a good indication of flexibility. This machine is kind of tricky in this category because it only does one thing. It just prints. But the fact that you can use those prints in such a plethora of different use cases makes this probably one of the most flexible pieces of technology that you can own. You don't even have to be good at 3D modeling yourself in order to get the most out of this machine, because chances are there's somebody online who has made something that you want that you can download for free or for a small fee and print it, and you're on your own. You're like on your way to fixing your problem. So I would say that it's probably like a 4.5 because of that, but because the machine itself is not super flexible, and you can mod them, but not that well, and it kind of just does one thing, but it does really well. I'm gonna give it a 3.5. You can you can argue in the comments if you want, but that's where I'm ranking it. The final thing is value. This one's tricky because everybody finds value in different things. So this printer is $800 with this material system as a package. So that's what I'm going to go off of. It comes with the case, the AMS, 2 spools of, well, half spools or whatever, of PLA, and a support spool, as well as a bunch of extra parts, lubes, screws, an extra hot end for when this needs to be replaced, and the whole app ecosystem. I think for what it is and what it can do, it's a pretty solid value. However, it's not the cheapest, and it's not the uh, smallest, let's say. So like you've got to dedicate some space to this, and you really kind of have to commit. But that being said, the speed at which it can print and the quality of the prints that it puts out is top notch. So I'm going to give it another 4 out of 5 on value. It's my first technology review on the channel. I'm not sure how people will take it. Let me know if you want me to review more technology items. I've got like outdoor related technology as well as just straight up off the wall technology. So let me know down below. Leave a like if you liked this review, this style change. And thanks for watching as always. And I will see you in my next gear closet review.